Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. I figure last time I made you wander around the English countryside and didn't show you much of my face. I just showed you basically a tour of one of our older bases in Homestead Manor. So I figured this time I'd talk to you a bit and actually look at you. So, yes, you can see the house in the back. That's the back of the base. So you can see the kitchen and our green wall. And so wandering over here is the pond, and the rest is just my face. So yeah, a bit of the sun is out. You may be able to tell I have colored my hair again, and it is bright red to match the fire of God within me. So yeah, it's so funny when you actually become more free and you discover what you like. And I really like red hair. I like having red hair. So yeah, a few days ago, one of the girls here redid it for me. And I also love bright lipstick. I don't know when that happened, but apparently I'm pretty girly. So yeah. A shout out as well. She's probably going to watch this, but yesterday was the birthday of one of my very bestest friends. We've been together for years. She actually gave me this on my birthday last year. So a shout out to Crystal, that I love you. And yeah, I hope you had a fantastic birthday celebrating with your husband. You're getting old now. I mean, 29, that's pretty old. So yeah, I get there first every year, but can you believe next year we're 30? So, anywho, I wanted to share a few things that have been happening recently, just to catch you up. I know Homestead, I shared a little bit of what we were doing with the YWAM England gathering and just sharing some of that stuff. But it's been a little while since I've shared a lot of the personal stuff that's been going on. And I kind of have said it before. I've written it in newsletters before, but just to share a little bit of my heart. Sometimes it is so hard to actually translate what happens here in the day by day. For those of you who work in church ministry or who work in missions or who work kind of in full-time ministry, and for those of you who just have that mentality every day walking with the Spirit, seeing and being transformed by Him and moving with Him, there's this thing that happens that basically when you invite God to do stuff, every day is a new adventure. Every day is a new challenge. Every day He's uncovering something, showing you in some ways how far you are from Him, but also how much He loves you in the midst of that. And that's a lot of what I've been in lately. And I find that is so hard to actually translate in a video or translate in a newsletter. A lot of those kind of deeper personal processes that are happening, just uncovering motivations and uncovering realities, kind of lies that I've believed in a long way. And it's funny because it's kind of coming off of this six months at the beginning of this year and at the end of last year where God was doing crazy things. I mean, the testimonies that have come out, just being able to walk in the fullness of things that I am really passionate about, teaching and traveling and just sharing life with people, and seeing how even in the midst of what I love doing, God is kind of bringing up and going deeper into things that He wants to change, and He wants to build stronger foundations in and stronger intimacy in. And so it's been a lot of personal process lately, and at the same time, every day, having crazy ministry opportunities and just growth opportunities. So I wanted to catch you up on a few things that have just happened in the last few days. Last few minutes, I'll tell you, this morning we ran out of toilet paper. Take you to the practical. We ran out of toilet paper in the house, and everybody's at teaching. I was staying behind to do some finance catch up. And for the last few weeks, I've been wanting to get my eyebrows waxed, which is why they look fabulous now. And I have been going to this place, and the woman's been sick, or I go at the wrong time when she's got a day off. So I'm walking to get toilet paper, and on the way to toilet paper is this place. And I was like, I'm going to go in today. It'll take 5 minutes. So I went upstairs. I'm sitting in the chair, and she is Asian. I could have thought she was maybe Indian, Sri Lankan, Bangladesh, Nepal, somewhere around there, but I didn't want to make an assumption. So we were talking a little bit, and I asked how business was, I asked how she was, and I was sitting in the chair. She's working on my eyebrows, yeah? And she started talking to me about her shop in India, and I said, oh, you're from India? And she starts talking about her husband who got a business visa to come over to the UK, so they've been in the UK for about 10 years. And the entire time she's talking, I have this question, oh, do you have any kids? Which, when you hear about a husband and you hear about a woman talking, that's kind of a natural occurrence. She's maybe in her early 40s, if I was guessing, late 30s, early 40s. And she tells me her name is Nita. She's talking about her husband, and I keep having this thought in my head, like, do you have any children? But I feel like I can't ask. And so I'm waiting and I'm kind of thinking and I'm listening to her. And all of a sudden she says, yeah, I had a job transition earlier this year because I had a miscarriage. And it was my first child and it was a miscarriage. And so I just really start listening to the Spirit in a deeper way. And I'm like, okay, that's why I didn't ask if she had any kids, because that's a sore spot. And so I said, oh, was that your first miscarriage? Was that your first attempt? And she said, they've been trying to have kids for 14 years. And mind you, this is all because I thought, oh, I'll just stop in and wax my eyebrows before I get toilet paper. Crazy things of just opportunities and asking God. And so I'm sitting in the chair, I'm listening to her talk about this, and I get up to pay. This is a 5-7 minute conversation tops. I get up to pay and I said, Nita, I'm a Christian and I love God, and I believe that Jesus cares so much about the fact that you want to have a baby. And I know it's maybe a little weird, but the whole time I was sitting there, I was thinking, ask her if she has any children, and yet I felt like I wasn't supposed to. And then when you said a miscarriage, I understood. Like that might have been a painful question for you. So I was talking to her basically about how God was talking to me about her. And basically I said, would you mind if I prayed for you? Because I really, really feel like God wants to give you a baby. And like God cares so much. I said, I don't know when and I don't know how, but I would love to pray. And she said, I would love that. So I prayed blessing over her. I prayed that her womb would have life. And I just said, God, I speak life, and prayed a little bit. And then she actually held my hands, and I thought that was interesting. And I said, we finished praying, and she said, it's so nice, like a stranger being so nice. I can't believe you just prayed for me, And she started crying when I prayed for her. And I was just leaving that place. We switched numbers and had a little bit more talk, but I was leaving that place amazed at the fact that God cares so much about this woman, And I remember a few times ago I talked about Christ in me being the hope of glory, and I just feel like he's really wanting to awaken us. I was talking to my mom a few days ago. Like he wants to awaken us to the fact that he wants to meet people in their need. And this beautiful woman named Nita from India has such a desperate need to grow a family. I felt that as I was talking to her. She wants a baby and she's tried every option. And so I'm just believing in faith, and I hope you guys will believe with me that she's going to be blessed, and God's going to bless her womb, and God's going to move in her. And so that was one thing that happened this morning. I'm trying to move because it got dark. Let's see. I can sit in the sun for this last bit because Jesus is the light of the world. So I want to be in the light, even with squinty eyes and weird shadows. This is bad lighting. Anyway, so basically the idea that God is so good. So I'm going to be posting a couple of videos as well about an activity that we had on Saturday called the Brent Family Festival. It was a connection. We live in a borough, an area, county, basically, of London called Brent. Lots of Jamaicans, West Indians, Afro-Caribbeans, lots of Somali, lots of Portuguese people. So we're actually one of the 33 boroughs in London that has the most minority that actually make up the majority of the area. So we're the most multicultural county borough in Brent, in London, sorry. So it's crazy to think that all of this is happening. So we had this family fun day, had a lot of gospel artists and rap artists and kind of spoken word and some songs, and we as YWAM helped run all the kids' activities, had a lot of inflatables, had a lot of just fun activities and opportunities to talk with people. I ended up talking to a woman from Ireland and just sharing with her about life, and God spoke so clearly that he wanted relationship with her. He wanted love with her. And so I was just talking about love, and she looked at me and she said, "You're so beautiful." And I was like, "Well, thank you." And she said, started talking about relationship and how God loves relationship. And she said, "I feel like you're a person who loves love." And we were just laughing and carrying on and talking about how good God is. And she said, "I don't really know that I've seen this picture of God, but it's so fun to come out here and see Christians who are actually having fun and who want to love the community and share with the community." So those were two things this week that have been amazing, just outreach opportunities, which is just doing what I'm brought here to do. That doesn't even factor in the fact, that's funny phrases with April the extrovert. Next week we're going to be starting a brand new school, and I'm leading that with another person on base. And this team that's been going from April that I talked to you guys about, they are leaving and going on outreach. So we constantly have the flow of people learning, people going deeper in their walk with God, and receiving training in order to put that into practice. So next week I'll actually be talking a bit about identity with this school, and sharing about personality. So more opportunities to do so much of what I love. But I hope 10 minutes has kept your attention, and I love you guys, and I'll keep you posted. So yeah, that's where we are, and I hope you enjoyed the sunshine and the bright face. I feel like a sailor in the midst of green. So anyway, love you, and I will talk to you later. God bless, and I'm praying for you. Let me know if you need anything, because I love standing with you. So just like you stand with me. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Bless you. Bye.